The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. I hope everybody had a fun-filled and joyful 4th of July weekend and got full on plenty of barbecue and whatnot, all them 4th of July snacks and stuff that everybody gets together for the holiday. You know, 4th of July is one of the biggest celebrated holidays in America, yeah. So there's a whole lot of stuff was going on. But anyway, I got Carol and Pedro with me this morning. So good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Week. Happy New Week.
New week. Well, we talked in the first part of the month, but it is still kind of a new month. It's just getting into the second week of it, I guess. Being the last day.
New week, Ed.
Well, but this is the last day of the first week. So the new week technically starts tomorrow, my brother.
Oh, what? It's Monday.
That don't matter. Today's the 7th.
Today's the 7th, right? And there's only 7 days in a week.
That's right. So, but anyway.
I guess that's what you want to say. That they're uneven. Y'all know they're uneven. We have 28, 30, or 31 days, right?
You got to pay attention to the way that the calendar falls.
Yeah, you're cutting by numbers. Okay.
Yeah, pay attention to the calendar. Whatever day of the week the calendar starts on. It started on Tuesday this month.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, y'all following that day. I'm following the schedule. Monday's a new week, and I continue my workouts.
Okay, so why we got the first Monday is today and the second Tuesday is tomorrow?
No, well, I'm not doing it like that. I'm just saying 5 weeks.
But that's it, though.
Just
Pedro.
weeks. I'm not talking about dates. I'm talking about just the beginning of the week, Monday, like business weeks. You're talking about starting from number 1, rolling through the 7. I understand that. I got you.
I'm just paying attention. I'm paying attention to the calendar. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I guess I have to because the way this stuff is on the schedule. So, but anyway, moving on to that specific point being the first Monday of July, we got our ever popular support group tonight with Dominic Martin at 6 o'clock. And his, I don't know, maybe he's just coming from a different age. You can't never tell with Dominic. But anyway, I thought we covered this depression. So maybe he's got a new angle on it. Maybe there's some new ways out there to help deal with it. Different kind of stuff. But it is important because a lot of people are dealing with depression on a daily basis. So it is one of the main contributors to stress, and stress kills. So we need to pay attention to all this kind of stuff. So again, come on out tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and hey, I think you'll enjoy this group. It's really informative. It's fun, and it's, again, all of our conversations, because of it, the nature of the group, we do keep everything within the group. So anyway, nice, trustworthy, safe place to, if you feel you need to open up or want to open up, we got your back. Don't worry about it. So anyway, we're going to jump into this first article, and I know everybody, besides having a great holiday weekend, for those that was able to truly enjoy the holiday, there's a whole group of people didn't get a chance to celebrate. They're dealing with a lot of tragedy down there in your home state, Carol.
Yes,
A
50
lot
miles
of
away,
money.
Hunt, Texas. You're right.
So anyway, we're going to get into this first article about the floods down in Texas. So check this out.
Hey Blind United crew, grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this first article in the aftermath of catastrophic flash floods in Texas that have claimed dozens of lives. A fierce debate is unfolding. While rescue efforts continue, state and local officials have begun to question the accuracy of the forecasts provided by the National Weather Service, suggesting they were not adequately warned of the deluge that devastated communities, particularly in the Texas Hill Country. Texas Division of Emergency Management Chief Nim Kidd stated that the forecasts received did not predict the sheer volume of rain that fell, and Kerr County Judge Rob Kelly expressed that no one anticipated the severity of the flood. These criticisms arise in the shadow of deep, systemic changes within the NWS and its parent agency, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. The current administration initiated drastic and sudden workforce reductions earlier this year as part of a push for government efficiency. These cuts, aimed at reducing federal spending, resulted in the termination or early retirement of over 500 NWS employees, prompting dire warnings from meteorological experts just before the start of the storm season. Reports have now confirmed that key NWS offices serving the affected Texas regions, including Austin, San Antonio, and San Angelo, were operating with significant staffing vacancies, including critical leadership and coordination roles. This has fueled the argument that the cuts may have impaired forecasting ability and endangered lives. The National Weather Service has defended its performance, stating it issued a series of watches and increasingly urgent warnings, including flash flooding alerts with significant lead time. A spokesperson for the NWS Employees Organization asserted that the local forecast offices had adequate staffing during the storm itself, but acknowledged that leadership vacancies were clearly a concern. Some meteorologists argue the agency did its job by signaling a major rainfall event, even if pinpointing the exact location of a 1-inch to 1,000-year downpour remains a monumental scientific challenge. This controversy brings to light the critical connection between government investment in scientific infrastructure and public safety, leaving a grieving community and a concerned nation to grapple with the consequences. This tragedy highlights the critical, life-saving role of weather forecasting and government agencies. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on the debate over funding for scientific agencies like the National Weather Service, but also share in the comments any experiences you've had where a weather warning was crucial for your safety. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, evidently, clearly, nobody wants to accept any sort of accountability for this thing. I mean, number one, first and foremost, man, thoughts and prayers go out to the families. I know there's still some people missing. Man, I could only, hope and pray that, that not all of them have perished. So before I really get into my comment, let me go ahead and Tisha says, good morning. Hey. And Monica says, well, I ain't going to say everything Monica said, but I hear you, Monica. She says good morning as well. But anyway, back to this thing, man. I mean, again, they've been saying it all along. I mean, come on, man. This guy that's in charge of all of this stuff, he didn't even know that we have a hurricane season. What rock have you been living under? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's been a hurricane season every year since I've been alive. I mean, I don't understand it. How can you be oblivious to knowing that there's a hurricane season unless you're just talking out the side of your neck and want to be another form of denier, again, they even this one, they want to claim, oh, this is a 100-year storm. No. I mean, we've been having these kind of storms happening a lot more frequently lately, in the last decade or so, especially. So, I mean, all that trying to shift the blame. Look, man, y'all cut funding. These people, like talking about leadership roles. Okay, weather, it has to be analyzed, okay? And a lot of them people that quit, they were probably the lead people when it came to doing that analyzation and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, they can tell you, okay, there's going to be a warning, but because we don't have people to analyze the stuff no more, we can't tell you where it's going to hit or how much it's going to drop. You know, I mean, even this area, it was prone to flooding, was my understanding. I don't know. They say it floods there regularly, being the, as let's just say it's like in a mountainous area around there, but they're prone to flash flooding, So, but again, these people need to know that they had no idea that this was going to rise over 20 something feet. Come on now. That ain't normal. That is definitely not normal. And again, people need to know these kind of things. These departments, the NOAA and the weather, all of these folks, they were designed to give us those early warnings. I mean, when it comes to these hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever it is, the more warning we have, the better off we are. And it's been proven that our early warning system, although not the best, it has saved lives now because of, and this is my opinion, because I'm not a meteorologist, whatever, but bottom line, that's my opinion that them cuts are responsible for these lives. I mean, again, you took away their ability to be able to analyze this weather properly and give accurate, as accurate as can be anyway, but that's part of his thing as well. Look what he talking about on the parade, oh, well, they said it was going to rain. There was no rain, and all this other. They can say, well, in 250 years, we're going to be this, but they can't tell you what's going to happen in the next couple hours. No, you just don't want to pay attention to what's going to happen in the next couple hours. If you follow the weather and you're concerned with the weather, you'll see that it's constantly changing. It might say it's going to do this at 9 o'clock in the afternoon, or I'm sorry, 9 o'clock in the morning, but it might not do it till 1 in the afternoon. So anyway, that's my opinion on it. I think that this is somebody needs to step up and really take responsibility for this. Go ahead, Kel.
I mean, I agree with you, Ed. I mean, it's a sad day here in my home state of Texas, where things like this shouldn't happen. And, funds being cut and people are not being able to hold jobs that can actually control lives. We are very prone for tornadoes, for floods. And, it's a really sad thing that we are just not we're not actually told fast enough. You can turn on the local news and they will give you information about areas that are way out of where you reside, but something that's right in front of you, they don't let you know. I can think back to where there's never been a tornado that I know of in Oak Cliff, but when it did happen, it was right down the street from me, and I did not get a warning. The only way I knew that something was coming my way is people were calling and they had heard something on the radio, not the news. And the alarm, like the system that's supposed to alert you to find shelter or find another place to go if you can't find shelter, did not even activate. And tragedy occurred. So it's we have the technology there, but it's unfortunate that sometimes we just don't get the information as soon as we need to, and it turns out catastrophic like it did now. These kids were in camp, had no warning, trying to enjoy their summer.
And now, it happened during the middle of the night too. So I mean, they were actually laying down sleep, and the water woke them up.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
And cutting funds on services like this, where it's extremely needed, to save lives. I mean, what do we have to sacrifice?
But
But
mhm.
see, it's easy for them for the people that don't believe in it. Remember, in his first term
Climate change.
when he took a marker and redrew a line on the weather forecast for the hurricanes back in his
Mm-hmm.
first term.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't believe in the system, so therefore, it doesn't matter to him. Go ahead, Pedro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, that's the overall issue right now with the cutbacks and the cuts and the defunding of these programs. But also, some of the take is on the local government. Different warning systems, different places are better. Sometimes, we got local officials that don't make that a priority. They don't spend money within their infrastructure as well as for example, with the when y'all were left with no power during the winter storm. It's another time, and they called that a once in 100-year storm too. So
True.
every time one of these happens, they always like brush it off and say, "Oh, it's one of them 100-year storms," But the
500
truth
year
Mm-hmm.
is,
storm, whatever.
yeah, and the truth is, they don't want to spend money. Some of these utility companies don't want to spend money on the infrastructure either, even though they get subsidized. So, it's sad because, the earlier the warning system, the earlier you can prepare for a storm.
True.
Even due to floods, it could due to hurricanes, even earthquakes. I do get those alerts. Sometimes it comes before. Only have it one time come before, and other times it's a little like a minute or two after. And they're working on it. They're constantly working on the systems and stuff like that. And I get the test and stuff. We over here have like so many different alerts. We have like the senior alert, we have the amber alert, that's nationwide though. But we other have other alerts that are color coded as well, that we get through messages or just through an alert. Even a flood warning, we get those periodically when it's a storm as well.
Yep.
Um, so it's when it comes to local spending, because it's more of a local thing. Now when it comes to the help, that has been slashed as well. It's gonna be tragic when people need to fix their homes and they can get funding from like an agency like the EPA, that it was a government run agency that's been cut. So, it's gonna be tougher. It's gonna be tougher to rebuild. Um, Now, like how it's been happening in California with some of the insurance not wanting to cover. I believe this was the beginning here, but there's gonna be other states where some of these insurance companies are gonna start trying to pull out. And I know in California they're trying to combat that. But see, the the data points that insurance companies get is a lot of data points, and there's been studies they are able to dictate, what not make it into stone, but able to predict in a way what's going to happen and if they should insure. And it's not driven by, it's driven by the by data they've been gathering for decades. It's been decades they've been gathering data. So, they know that California is prone to fires. So they're trying to pull out and not have fire coverage and stuff like that. You know?
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. Insurance is good after the fact, but the National Weather Service and all that stuff, that's before. You know what I'm
No,
saying? That's
yes,
our
of course.
Right.
early
I'm
warning.
saying
I mean,
they
Yeah,
are seeing something in the data. That's why they're pulling out of regions, because
w-
they see it. And
Well, I mean,
scientists been
what they're
screaming it
looking at
out
is
for a long
what
time
they're
as well.
seeing is their risk in having to pay out.
Of course, I know,
I
but
mean,
that
again,
lets
but
us
my
know
right,
there's
but
something
again,
happening.
well,
but
flood
again,
insurance is not really big here in Texas, even though we have a lot of floods. And a lot of the policies
Mm,
that you get right now don't even cover your roof. Like I just happened to grandfather into a policy that does cover my roof in case of a fire or anything that can happen. But these new policies, they don't even cover roof based on hail damage because it's been so much fraud that has happened to where they just can't take the risk. And the sad
Well,
thing about it is you need the insurance to cover you, but if it doesn't cover your roof, that's the top of your house. That means it doesn't cover anything really under that.
well, again, them pulling out is due to their risk assessments.
Of
You
course,
know what
yes,
I'm
of
saying?
course, of
Yes.
course. So
But
it kind
again,
of gives us an
hold on.
indication.
Let me finish. Let me finish. There is nowhere in America where you are going to find any region that does not have its own particular issue.
True.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Again, where are you going to sell insurance at? If you're trying to eliminate risk, you're going to, no matter where you're at, there's going to be some risk involved. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So again, if you're going to out here where the risk is higher, just like when I first started driving cars or whatever, we have to pay a higher insurance rate. Okay. If you're in one of them risk zones, then you almost have to understand, okay, I have to pay this X amount of, in certain areas, you have to have a sub policy before you can actually get financing to purchase a home if you don't have that sub policy to go along with the regular policy to cover that extra stuff, whether it be flooding or fires or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. So, but
But
anyway, we're jumping into our next one here. We'll be on
oh,
the time slot for this one.
okay.
Okay, so right quick, Katie Taylor, thank you, sweetheart. No, I'm not worried about the convention. If I was going to convention, I would be there right now. I wouldn't be here. And Tisha says, leave Monica alone. We got to treat her nice. So anyway, let Pedro jump into these next couple promos, and we'll get into our next article.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shots. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
All right. Again, them jingles, y'all. I mean, whatever occasion, we got them. Birthdays, holidays, thank you, appreciation, whatever. We can create a jingle for you. Well, Pedro can create a jingle for you. Let me clear that up. I'm not that bright. So anyway, something I've been talking about, we've been talking about for a long time. Again, we still on warnings about AI and stuff like that. I mean, last week we talked about it, things that we should not try to use AI for. But check this out and find out what corporate America is using it for.
Hey, Blind United crew. For our next cup, we're continuing a conversation we started last week. A year ago, the big question in technology was how to make artificial intelligence work safely for people. Today, we're looking at the answer that seems to be emerging in America. For now, it appears that safety is often optional. Right now, a quiet revolution is taking place as AI systems are increasingly used to make high-stakes decisions that affect every aspect of our lives. These automated systems are deciding who gets a job interview, who is approved for a loan, who gets access to housing, and even making recommendations about medical care. While the goal is efficiency, the reality is that these systems operate with very little federal oversight, which is exactly how the powerful tech industry wants it to stay. A major, verifiable problem with these systems is algorithmic bias. Because AI is trained on vast amounts of historical data, it can learn and amplify existing human biases against protected groups. For example, AI hiring tools have been shown to discriminate against female candidates for technical roles if they are trained on decades of data where men predominantly held those jobs. This kind of discrimination is often illegal under existing civil rights laws, yet it is happening at scale inside these complex, opaque systems, despite these known harms. There is currently no dedicated federal agency in the U.S. that watches over the AI industry, and Congress has failed to pass any comprehensive legislation to regulate it. After ChatGPT made its public debut, there was bipartisan agreement in Washington on the need for new rules. However, that momentum has largely stalled. A primary reason is one of the most powerful forces in Washington, an unprecedented lobbying push from the tech industry. Major tech companies are spending record amounts of money to influence lawmakers. Their central argument is that strict regulation will stifle American innovation and allow other countries to win the AI arms race. This lobbying effort has been highly effective at delaying and preventing the creation of a strong federal oversight system. This leaves consumers, workers, and our society at large vulnerable to the negative impacts of a technology that is being deployed with speed as its primary goal, not safety. This lack of oversight for such a powerful technology has enormous implications for our society. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on the need for AI regulation, but also share in the comments any concerns you have about how AI might affect your own life or community. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, again, we're back at the same conversation that we've had all along. I mean, as far as AI being needed, the need for regulation, I've said it all along. Pedro said it all along. Carol has agreed with us, the tech people that I've talked to, whatever. I mean, I know we're not, computer engineers and coders and all this other kind of stuff, but at the same time, we got common sense. And common sense tells you got to have regulations on this stuff. Now, I do not see how imposing regulations would stifle their ability, to create these models. To me, it just no. If you have regulations in there where safety is no longer an option, it is, it's mandatory. So you got to put it on there. Therefore, now your regulations have to do with testing to make sure that it's safe before you release it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, limitations on what it can do. I mean, I don't want no AI to be able to go into, you know, and have access to all of my business. Again, why? Because it's not stored on my computer. It's not, it's going on to a mainframe server where hundreds of thousands. I mean, again, the AI itself has access to your information. And who knows, somebody comes up and says, okay, well, now I got an AI model that's going to search all the other AI models to, gather this information. Now they got all your information, bank accounts, everything. You just ass out. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but here again, they're talking about efficiency, but again, now you cutting out certain sectors of people. I mean, you're using this stuff to determine who gets a job, who gets to buy a house, who gets to buy a car, whatever the case may be. It's just, this doesn't make sense, man. No, we can't use this again because within our system, we have so much discrimination within our system when it goes back and searches and gets the stats from throughout, our history. It's going to be biased towards certain groups of people based on what it has been in the past. And we're talking about moving forward. How can we move forward if everything is being, created from what happened in history? You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work that way. So, Anyway, I just think it's really, really sad. I hate the fact that, we got so much money in politics to where these tech bros can, assemble an army of lobbyers and give them all a briefcase full of money and send them to Washington, and they just walk the halls and start dropping money in the mail slots. I mean, that's what it feels like. I know it's, a lot more complicated than that, but again, that's what it feels like, and it's wrong. Money, we got to keep money out of politics. Otherwise, anybody can go up in there and buy somebody's vote. That's what I got on it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Go ahead, Carol.
I don't blame you. I mean, money should be taken out of politics, true. And all of these AI, AI is the future, true. But I don't think that it should have the right to decide who is hired, who is fired, uh, this, that, or the other. I understand they have to gather information, but it's got to be some rules and regulations about how they do that. And some things are just not part of that procedure. So hopefully they can come up with something to where if they are really thinking about the future for us, it won't be allowed to do any of these things that are not appropriate for us as humans. We in the blind community utilize platforms like this all the time, and we know that they gather information, but we know that we keep sensitive information to ourselves. I don't want them to know my bank account information or, certain things that are just private to me. But they give you the option to say, okay, you want to be a part of this. And so some of us are just so quick to get on the platform to hit accept, accept, accept without reading what it is that we're actually signing up to give them information for. So we have to be real careful about how we actually access some of these platforms that we need. But artificial intelligence is just not going to go away. They just need to really be able to confine it in some kind of way to where it can protect us and still be able to do what it is that we need to help make our lives more efficient.
That's right. That's what it's for. It's supposed to be a tool for us to move forward. But if again, if you let this stuff get out of control, you can call it, conspiracy, whatever. But history, our movies have shown us. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Hmm.
look at was a Skynet in Terminator. Whatever. There's several different
I
movies.
Robot.
I Robot. All of these movies have showed us what happens when AI goes south.
Yes.
So go ahead, Pedro.
Mm. Well, well,
Oh, okay. Sound like I
what?
caught you with your mouth full.
I was taking a drink. Sorry about that. I was drinking coffee. Coffee time. I was drinking coffee. Um, no, but yes, there needs to be regulations. Number one, everything has regulations. We have regulations when you buy homes because of the whole redlining stuff. We have regulations on different industries because of what has happened. We need regulations on AI because of what been happening in the middle of the country over there in the Midwest of the country with the AI and the renters and this company that was not fudging the numbers, but they were using AI to leverage to get higher and higher rental prices. They got caught and there was a big old investigation. I don't know if they're under investigation now, but what was happening. But that's an abuse of AI technology. Another abuse of AI technology is when they want to use it to target. And like you said, Ed, yes, we have within the data a certain type of bias, but what the tech bros are doing and what they do on the side and that I'm gonna get to is that they want less regulations so they can manipulate the AI to get us to do what they want, even when it's in financing or even if it's indirectly, and we don't even know the way it's gonna be utilized on us. We don't know until somehow it gets leaked, somehow something comes out. But what is going to be done? Nothing, because there is no agency, nothing overseers, there's no guidelines. And I know they say it stifles innovation. No, it protects the public. We see what happens with our data being leaked for some of these medical insurance or AT&T because they don't want to spend on internet security or security for their servers and stuff like that. And who ends up losing? Us in the public. That's why there's regulations. For them to say it stifles growth is BS to me. It's BS. And the reason why, because you could see Mike Zuckerberg go on to Joe Rogan and say, yes, we need less regulations. We need less regulation. What happened in the meat market last year? We had a whole breakout because they stopped the guidelines and regulations on them. They cut back on them. And then there was an issue. There's been several other issues. That's why there's regulations to protect us as the public, because we have people in power and then we have corporations that want to cut corners because the bottom line is money.
Well, and not only that, let's go here. Most regulations are reactive and not proactive. You know what I'm saying? Proactive.
Yeah, proactive.
I mean, just like when they first invented cars, did they know that many people were going to die in cars? No, they didn't. But as time went on and things were discovered, they started imposing regulations where the car had to have this, the car had to have that. I mean, look, they didn't even put seatbelts in the cars until the late 60s, early 70s, before they became mandatory. All that kind of stuff, so
even with like lead paint, lead pipes and all that, we learned, and they needed to be regulations and guidelines on the same thing because of the damage it was doing to the public.
And then again, let's go now coming back around to the AI. I believe that, even for people that don't really know a lot about this stuff, when they see, like I said, Skynet and, those different kind of things, maybe they don't fully understand it, but they see that and they, a red flag goes off. Okay, that's AI. Oh, okay, we need to put some guardrails up on this stuff because it can literally take over if we don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? If we don't have these guidelines in place. So again, it just makes them have to do certain testing and training of AI in a lab and may ensure that it's going to be safe before they release it to the public. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? They have to put stuff in there, to make sure that it's not going to cross that line, So, again, I'm with it. Right quick. Yes, Katie, I did figure that out. I just got it the other day and it will be coming out to you this week. She's speaking about her t-shirt. So again, she has gotten hers. I'm going to verify about, Carol and a couple others and get those t-shirts out. Thank you all. We really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you for supporting and as well as, putting our logo and our brand out there so people can see you as you interact in wherever you live at and know that Blind United is here. So anyway, this stuff is crazy, man. I mean, again, we got to have this regulation. So, I'm grateful that Newsom and in many other states as well are being proactive and bottom line, especially here in California, since a lot of that stuff is being developed right here in California. No, you're going to have regulations on that stuff. You're not just going to be able to just walk through here and create any kind of AI model you want to. It's not going to happen. So I applaud those governors and states that are being proactive on that. So anyway, there we are at another segment. So let's go ahead and get a couple more promos and then we'll get into our last article. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Throw on the blue, yeah, we rep that crew. Blind United strong, we staying true. For Smarter 4X, come get your fit. Royal with the logo, we all legit. 15 till July 26. After the party, we raising a fix. Get it now while the deal still live. Loyal to the cause, we thrive and survive. Rock the logo, show who you are. Standing for the vision, we've come so far. It's more than merch, it's a movement we live. Loyal to the cause with all we give. From baked goods to tech, we building the way. But that royal blue shirt, it's here to stay. Don't sleep, grab yours before the shift. After the 90s party, it's a price uplift. 15 till July 26. After the party, we raising the fix. Get it now while the deal still live. Loyal to the cause, we thrive and survive.
All right. Well, again, would appreciate it. Show your support. Come get one of these T-shirts. Again, you got an opportunity right now to get it before the price goes up at an introductory cost of just $15. And we would really appreciate it. One more quick thing, folks. Please pay attention to these interest groups, okay? Ask yourself, who else is offering such a wide variety of training for free that is not only for free, but is also interactive, right? So, I mean, again, a lot of people out there, they putting their stuff up. You know, you can go to YouTube and catch a video. You go here, catch a video, whatever, but it's not interactive. You can't go in and say, okay, yeah, I get it, but I'm having this problem. And then we help you work through that problem. Ain't nobody else doing that but us. So, again, pay attention to these interest groups, man. We really trying to do everything we can to help everybody with their technology needs and help them get past whatever barriers, as well as, you know, always, you know, doing different new tech and, you know, working through it before we actually bring it to you guys so that, you know, our tech crew kind of understands what it possibilities are, capabilities are, you know, and all this other kind of stuff before we really get into it with you guys. So anyway, this next one, I mean, I'm doing this because you would think that it would be common sense, but at the same time, you know, being as old as I am now, I realize that common sense really ain't all that common. So,
Right.
So anyway, check this out, y'all.
Hey, Blind United crew. For our final cup, let's head into the kitchen for some practical advice. The dishwasher is one of the best time savers we have, but it turns out we might be a little too eager to put everything in there, and it could be ruining some of our favorite kitchen tools. While it might seem like the easy way out for most messy items, the dishwasher's combination of high heat, harsh detergents, and prolonged water exposure can be destructive. Learning what to keep out of the machine can save you money and keep your cookware and tools in great shape for years to come. Let's start with porous and natural materials like wood and cast iron. The intense heat and moisture in a dishwasher will cause wooden cutting boards, spoons, and knife handles to swell, warp, and eventually crack. For cast iron skillets, the powerful detergents are the enemy, as they will completely strip away the carefully built-up layer of seasoning, which is the nonstick surface that makes cast iron so great. Without its seasoning, cast iron will begin to rust almost immediately. The dishwasher can also ruin your high-performance kitchen items. Those sharp chef's knives should never go in, as the detergents can dull the blade's edge over time, and the jostling of the wash cycle can cause the blade to chip against the rack. The same goes for nonstick pans. The high heat and harsh soap will quickly degrade the delicate nonstick coating, causing it to lose its effectiveness and potentially flake off. Similarly, That insulated travel mug that keeps your coffee hot for hours will lose its magic, as the heat can damage the vacuum seal between its walls. Finally, be careful with delicate items and certain metals. Cookware made from soft metals like copper or aluminum should be hand-washed, as the abrasive detergents can cause them to permanently tarnish, discolor, or pit. It should also go without saying that delicate items like fine china, crystal, or anything hand-painted should never be put in the dishwasher, as the heat and detergents can easily cause cracks or strip away the beautiful patterns. A good rule of thumb is, if you're not sure, it's always safer to just wash it by hand. We've all probably learned this lesson the hard way at some point. We invite you to not only share your thoughts on these dishwasher tips, but also share in the comments a story about a time you accidentally ruined something by putting it in the dishwasher. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not trying to insult nobody, but like I said, a lot of this you would think would be common sense because dishwashers are not new. They've been around quite a while. And the fact that, people have stories of, different things that have got ruined in the dishwasher, stuff like that, certain plastics. And, again, I mean, who would have ever thought that you had to tell somebody, no, you don't put a cast iron skillet in a dishwasher, or a wood cutting board. You know what I'm saying? Different things like this, but evidently we got to do that, right? So, I mean, number one rule, like I say, if you don't know, it's safer to wash it. Number two, I mean, I would do, check the labeling, check the packaging. When you buying something or whatever, is this dishwasher safe? If that's the way I plan on using it, cleaning it, I should say. Myself personally, I got a dishwasher. I don't never use it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, number one is just, maybe I should have bought one that was Bluetooth capable, where I could operate it with my phone or something like that. But I couldn't afford all that, so I bought what I could. But being honest, I'm old school. I prefer putting my hands on them dishes. I prefer washing them that way. I prefer having, the suds and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And being able to, I mean, I actually think blind people wash dishes better than sighted people simply because they're looking at it, and sometimes you can't see everything, but you can feel it. That's for sure, and once you feel it, okay, now you work on that till you get that off of your plate, whatever, so, I mean, again, just a little bit of common sense, uh, don't tear up your stuff. I mean, some of this stuff, I mean, you go out and spend big money on these knives. Like it's telling you, those harsh detergents will break down the metal in the knife and dull your knife. It seems like somebody been cutting wood with this knife or whatever. No, it's your dishwasher. I mean, come on, man. I mean, quit being so lazy. I mean, come on. What happened to kids? That used to be the kids' job. Okay, you wash dishes, you rotate, and the kids wash dishes, stuff like that. I mean, go back to the original dishwasher, the kids. You know what I'm saying? And let the dishwashers be for dishwasher safe items. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, what it sounds like, again, your regular commercial plates and stuff like that, of course, not your fine china and stuff like that. But again, like all of your glass, per se, cookware and stuff like that. One of our, friends of the Blind United, Any Day Cookware. I mean, again, it's all microwavable stuff. Again, it's for cooking in the microwave and it's dishwasher safe. Again, you ain't got to worry about it, right? Certain things you just don't put in there, just like you don't put metal in a microwave. You know what I'm saying? You don't put paper in an oven. Different. I mean, just certain things you should just, but again, Just pay attention to what you got. I'd hate to see anybody go out and spend a lot of money on stuff and throw it in the dishwasher thinking everything's going to be okay, and you pull it out the next morning or whenever you decide to empty your dishwasher, uh, and it's ruined. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. Walk past your dishwasher, towards the end of the cycle, and feel how hot that thing gets in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just pull the bottom rack out and look. You'll see there's a great big old heating element right there in the bottom of that microwave. It's designed to heat up everything that's in that dishwasher, supposedly to dry it, but like in the case of a wooden cutting board, right? It sucks all the moisture out of it. Now you got a cutting board that's warped and cracked and all kind of stuff. So again, just be careful with this stuff. So, what you use your dishwasher regularly?
Me, I don't even have a dishwasher. My house has been built since 1942. So, I mean, to be real transparent, I've never used a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. And, it started from a childhood chore to where it's just something that I do. It relaxes me. And I learned early on, you don't even put water in no cast iron skillet. I use it, for my fish, for my chicken, for my pork chops, but I don't put no water on it. It's just certain things that I put in the sink. And the funny thing that you had said earlier is I can go to some of my visual friends' houses and they'll give me a plate, and I just unconsciously always touch it first before I put my food on it, and they plate be dirty. And I'm like, dog, you don't feel this? They say it's clean. They looking at it, but I feel that it's dirty. So, I've just always been the dishwasher. And I'll wash dishes even at my friends and family houses, because it's just something that I enjoy doing, and I want to make sure that it's clean. But I'm dishwasher illiterate because I don't. To me, they would always have to wash their stuff before they put it in there. Well, if you're washing it already, just finish washing it and put it in the drain board and let it dry off air. Why? So I just have never really used a dishwasher. I don't have one in my home. For those of them who do, if you use it, I mean, I would think you would use common sense with certain things, knowing what can, be accepted with heat, what can't. But I guess sometimes we just need a little bit more instruction in order to know what we can do and what we can't do. But
Right.
nah, I don't deal with a dishwasher. Again, I am the dishwasher, and I probably will be for the rest of my life.
Well, I ain't mad at you. Like I said, I ain't into using my dishwasher either. And Katie says she never had one before, but she has one in her newer place, and this is some useful information because she's never used one as well. So now she's, paying attention to what she can and cannot put in there. So what about you, Pedro? I mean, I know you got two or three dishwashers over there.
No, but there are a great time saver. It's good to know the items you are able to put in and wash and have it done. So when sometimes it's a busy family, sometimes you got activities happening, everybody's on a rush, and able to set it up and stack it up and put a put it on a timer and let it go, and then come back and able to stack up all that. You know what I mean? It makes
Yeah.
it pretty good. If you done with your food and you rinse off the plate and put it in there, or just make sure everything's off the plate when you put it in there ready to dishwash, can save you extra time. You know what I mean? Needing to after the dishwash, seeing little spots and stuff like that. So, you know, especially having little ones around that they keep grabbing different cups for water for the same thing, and they just grab a cup, drink water, go grab another one, drink more water or
Mm.
juice or whatever it may be. A dishwasher comes in handy. Sometimes we unfortunately have not a family of three or four, but it's a family of five or six sometimes. So, a dishwasher does come in handy, and it's good to be aware on what items we could put and stuff like that, and even letting the little ones know, you know. But yes, I was one of them that had to wash the dishes as growing up. It was one of the chores, still a chore in my pad as well. But I could see the benefits of having one and stuff like that, you know.
I mean, they cool to have, but at the same time, I mean, for me, I never had one before I lost my sight, so I never got into using it, but I mean, I can see its advantage, but at the same time, pay attention, man, and
Hmm.
only put things in there like your everyday dishes. Again, your everyday silverware, not your cutlery, but your silverware.
Right.
Like you say, your cups and stuff like that. That a new one that seen in there, and I mean they're relatively new on the market. I guess they've been around, maybe 10 years now. But like you say, these cool cups, these hot cups, with this
Mm-hmm.
aluminum, and they got that space in between there. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't even
double
realize.
walled vacuum seal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have one of those.
yeah, I didn't even realize they were vacuum sealed. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. So again, putting
We
that
keep.
stuff in there
Hmm.
is going to mess up that seal, and now you're going to be mad. Well, wait a minute, my cup ain't keeping my stuff hot or cold no more. You know what I'm saying? That water bottle that you
And
wouldn't spend $20, $30 on now,
hmm
now you don't have ice all day like you used to.
Ah,
yeah,
because the
and it's
expansion
true.
of the heat from the dishwasher expands it or compacts it.
Probably breaks the seal, and and having that vacuum seal keeps your drinks cold up to 24 hours in some of these bottles. It's true. They're able to have ice in them up to 24 hours in certain bottles, so the ice won't even melt.
Oh wow.
But if you
Right.
put it in a dishwasher, it will damage it, cut the seal. The bottle tops can get warped if you put the bottle tops right there as well. So take care of your products. They do indicate, even when you buy them on Amazon, they will say dishwasher friendly, depending on which one you buy. So be aware, just be aware of
Yeah.
it, and
Mm.
you know,
And you
I'm
are
just
correct, Carol. The metal does expand and contract, depending
hmm
on
based on the heat of the
right,
dishwasher.
and the metal,
Oh
So
wow,
hmm
okay. See, I
hmm
just
so
normally as I'm cooking, I have dish water already running. So as I'm going through whatever it is, I'm washing dishes and preparing my meal at the same time. To where once
mm,
I finish, all I have is basically just a plate of food. And I've already
mm,
stored everything that I'm not
mm.
going to eat. And I have my plate of what I am going to eat. And my dishes are all washed and clean and sitting
But see,
up
that
in the
comes
dry
with
board.
that old school training. That's something you realize. You know what? Rather than me get up after my belly full and come in here and wash up all these dishes, let me knock
Mm-hmm.
out all I can knock out before I sit down because I might not want to get back up. You
That's
know,
right. That's right. I was just taught
Plus
that way
it's just easier to keep it clean as you're moving
as
forward
you're
than
cooking
to
and
come
going.
back and try
Mm-hmm.
to clean everything. So
Right.
well, at least that's one thing AI is good for. I can tell you when you left some dirt on the counter. So, but anyway, man, it's been a crazy Monday. I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out with us. Again, we really, really, really do appreciate y'all. We'd appreciate you, just a little bit more, I mean, because we already appreciate you a lot. So, but if you just run over there, please like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, or whatever you can do, wherever platform you're watching us on. It really does help us to get the word out there. It helps us with the algorithm, and it lets our content reach more and more people. So, again, we really appreciate that. Again, we got our 90s party coming up. Folks, come on out, hang out with us, and do your 90s thing. Get on your royal blue and white and to represent Blind United, all that good stuff. Help us out as much as you can. We really appreciate it because, again, think about it. Everything we doing, we provide for free. You know what I'm saying? We provide all our training for free. But all this stuff costs money. I mean, the Zoom platform, the StreamYard platform, and I mean, just so many different things that we have to pay for. You know what I'm saying? And this really helps us cover our overhead. So a little bit at a time, a little bit from you, a little bit from somebody else. We put it all together, we can pay our bill. So anyway, we really do again appreciate y'all. Let me get up here and Pedro, go ahead and give up a closing comment from your end, and while I'm
yeah. But yes, guys. So like, subscribe. If you believe someone can benefit from this information, please like, share with a visual person, share with somebody that might be visually impaired. This is information for everyone. Here in Blind United, we emphasize that united word, guys.
We really do. I mean, to the point to where, like I was telling you guys late last week, stay tuned. We got some new stuff coming on. Again, we're going to be hopefully starting some groups that are designed, specifically for the Hispanic community. You know what I'm saying? To help them out, because why? They're part of the community too. You know what I'm saying? That they deserve to understand how to use their technology. And somewhere in there, maybe we can try to bridge that language gap, because we already got, one group where we're going from English to Spanish, learning how to do conversational Spanish. And now, hopefully we'll be able to flip that around and not only do it that way, but do it the other way from Spanish to English. So, and just make it one community rather than 5 or 6 different communities. So anyway, I am ready to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your magnificent Monday. See you on the next one.